Look who's back. Back again. With loads more trends. Tell a friend. Hello Mon Petit and welcome back to my channel. No, you do not have deja vu. You are not seeing things. We are back with another trend video. I know I already uploaded my top 10 autumn winter trends for 2024, but I did ask you in that video to let me know if you wanted a part 2, and you let me know that you wanted a part 2, and I was all the more willing to oblige because there were so many trends actually that I didn't include in that video. Trends that even I am absolutely loving, that it was so difficult to narrow it down to my top 10. So it's quite nice to kind of do like a top 20 trends for autumn winter 2024 because there's so many fun trends that are going on at the moment that you can get involved with, that you can add into your wardrobe, that you can just have a little look to see if it's you, if it fits within your style, and just have a little bit more fun. That is what I find with autumn winter styling. I do feel like, as much as I adore summer and I'm very sad to be saying goodbye to the sunshine and the warmth, I just have so much more fun in autumn winter whenever it comes to trends, whenever it comes to styling, and whenever it comes to my outfits. So I love looking into the trends for the coming season, sharing them with you guys and chatting about how we can add them into our wardrobe. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it and chat about 10 more trends for autumn winter 2024. So trend number 1 is something that I realized I've actually been doing for such a long time without really realizing it. This summer, I started having a lot more fun with my jewelry and investing in a few statement pieces. And a huge trend for autumn winter is one statement piece of jewelry. I have noticed it everywhere. I feel like we're really cutting down with regards to the amount of jewelry that we are wearing. If you notice, I literally don't have any rings on other than my engagement ring. I haven't got any bracelets on, but I do have a very fun pair of earrings. And I do feel like earrings are the biggest way to introduce this trend into your wardrobe and just have so much fun with it. I feel like with regards to our jewelry, we're just really stripping down like the amount we're wearing, and instead we're focusing on quality, not quantity. We're just adding in those few individual pieces that really make a statement. I feel like it can be quite easy to kind of go a little bit overboard with regards to your jewelry if you're wearing like multiple statement pieces together. If you've got amazing earrings on and a really cool bracelet and a watch and a necklace and some rings, it's just a little bit much now, and I feel like we're really appreciating that kind of less is more trend. But it's hard to say that it's less is more because it obviously is a big statement piece, and for me statement earrings have just been so much fun to play about with. I feel like before this summer I was quite, I don't want to say boring with regards to my jewelry, very classic with regards to my jewelry, and this summer I just really leaned into that statement earring trend and just started adding them into my outfits, and I absolutely love it. I feel like you can just have so much fun with your earrings. I feel like they just elevate an outfit. It's great on days you're not really wanting to make a huge effort but you kind of want to look like you've made a bit of an effort. Add a pair of statement earrings and you always look so much more elevated. For me, my favorite place to look for statement earrings is actually Sézane. I will leave a link to Sézane jewelry down below because my goodness me, they just have the most beautiful earrings, and I have shopped at a lot of different places, some very, very high-end places and some more high street places for beautiful earrings, and I would say Sézane not only do really beautiful styles, really beautiful designs, but they're actually super comfy to wear. I actually wore a pair of Sézane earrings to a wedding the other day, and oh my goodness me, I had so many compliments on them, but a lot of the girls asked me how I was coping with them in my ears because we were dancing, we were boogieing, we were literally raising the roof, and I was jumping around so much and I didn't really feel them in my ears. Like I didn't feel like I need to take these out. Oh my goodness, they're really hurting. Like they're so lightweight and so comfortable. So have a little look at Sézane jewelry if you are wanting to jump onto the trend. Of course, the pair I'm wearing now are from Sézane, but especially if you're like me, you like quite a half up, half down, you like a lot of knit, where I just really feel like it adds such an element of interest to your outfit, and it's just such a huge trend this year. But of course it doesn't have to be earrings. I've seen a lot of girls that have just been doing maybe like one big bangle, which I think works really, really well. But the main takeaway from this trend is just like really stripping your jewelry back but investing in one statement piece to really make that big impact for your autumn winter outfit. Trend number 2, which is something that I feel like, again, we've all been really leaning towards without even realizing that we are doing it. But I've noticed a massive shift with regards to the no logo or understated branding trend. I don't know about you, but I'm so over heavily monogrammed, heavily logoed pieces. I don't want to be doing the advertising for the brand. I don't want a bag that is completely covered in logos. I don't want a jacket that has got massive branding on it. I want my pieces to be so much more understated, and I want to say a little bit demure without referencing the TikTok trend, but really demure and classic items. I have really shifted with regards to what I've been buying and what I've been adding into my wardrobe. I feel like, again, I no longer even look at like the price point or the actual brand that it's come from, and instead I'm looking at the individual piece itself. I will leave a little link to my high street that looks high-end video, because I feel like it really encapsulates that entire trend of adding pieces into your wardrobe that aren't necessarily really expensive items, but they look so luxurious and they look so expensive. All of those pieces are very understated. They're very minimal with their branding as well, which I absolutely adore. And I really have noticed a huge shift away from it. I don't know if it's because of the cost of living. I don't know if it's because we're just being a little bit more considerate with what we're adding into our wardrobes, but I do feel like it's almost like that continuation of the quiet luxury trend, which I think I spoke about potentially this time last year. Actually, I think it really came into its own, maybe even summer of 2023, but the continuation of that quiet luxury trend and no longer shouting about the brands that you are wearing. When I look back at all of these heavily monogrammed and heavily logoed pieces, it almost feels like a bit of almost like a show off of your outfit, and instead we're no longer wanting to show off, but instead we're just wanting to make sure that we are dressing for ourselves, that our pieces are super classic, super timeless, and absolutely beautiful. So I'm personally really enjoying this trend of no logos / minimal branding. I feel like it's actually more of a trend that's going to stay, but let me know your thoughts. Do you think it's a bit of a fad, or do you think it's one that's going to stand the test of time? Trend number 3 is a very interesting one, because I feel like it's the first time that hairstyles have come on trend ever since the slick back bun. And it's quite interesting because it's quite a step away from the slick back bun, don't get me wrong. Slick back bun and that clean girl hair is going nowhere. I am not letting it go anywhere, because when I've got a greasy hair day, there is nothing I love more than doing a bit of a slick back look. But it's quite interesting to see the new trend coming in of undone hair. And I mean that in the sense of undone hairstyles, loose, messy hairstyles, looking like you've literally just rolled out of bed, chucked your hair up and gone out for the day. In particular, I feel like a huge one with regards to this trend is plaits. French plaits that just look so messy, so undone. You've got bits trailing off. It's just huge this season. I've seen so many girls with this and I absolutely love it. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how this kind of like messy wave of hair comes back into place. It does almost remind me of that kind of 2013, 2014 messy bun trend, that it was one of those trends that was like actually really hard to join in with, because the messy bun takes a lot of work. And I feel like it's going to be the same with the messy plait, this kind of undone look where you just have very like loose messy waves, a lot of like updos with regards to claw clips, buns, just that really kind of like minimal. I haven't really made an effort, but actually took me hours to do this morning, and I'm interested to see how it's going to develop. I don't know if I'm going to really jump on board with this trend. I personally prefer a little bit more of like a clean girl hair and a little bit more of just like a nice updo, but it's going to be interesting. I might have a little look into it and see how I can personally join in with the trend. It's always so fun looking into these trends, thinking about what suits your true personal style, thinking about how you can play about with the trend and whether it's one that works for you. You know, I always say to never follow trends blindly and really be considerate about what trends you actually want to participate in. So let me know, messy hair, are we participating, or is this one that we're going to sit out? If you can't already tell, I am fully embracing cozy season. I am very excited about all things cozy and all things comfy. I'm actually also embracing a trend from the last video, which I didn't even do deliberately, but the chocolate brown trend. It is such an easy colorway to add into your wardrobe, especially at this time of year. I feel like it's such an easy trend to jump on board because I'm just drawn to this color palette, these rich, cozy textures and cozy tones. And so any trend that is tailored towards being cozy, being comfy, I am seriously going to jump on board. So trend number 4, I am very excited about. I'm going to call swaddle season. It is all about getting swaddled, getting cozy and getting comfy. So we are talking about those oversized scarves, the coat scarves, those massive oversized cozy coats, just getting super cozy and getting super swaddled up. I've noticed that big scarves are huge again this year. It's quite interesting because I feel like even though it wasn't necessarily a trend, we did see quite a lot of it last year, and I noticed a lot of brands that were bringing out those kind of like coat scarf hybrids. I do think they're quite cool actually, and it's something that 2 years ago I turned my nose up at. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't think that they would really last. I thought it was quite a fad, and I thought it might be a little bit of a waste of money because I didn't want a coat that I wouldn't be able to wear within literally a year. However, it seems like the trend isn't going anywhere. It's definitely been around for at least a year, if not even 2, which is quite interesting to see. I feel like it's just because we love getting cozy at this time of year. We love getting swaddled up, and especially here in the UK, come December, January time, it can get so cold. You just want something that's going to keep you so nice and snugly warm. So that kind of like matchy vibe with regards to your coat and your scarf is so big this year. But if you're not wanting to invest in a brand new coat and a brand new scarf, just any of your big chunky scarves just to like wrap around yourself, an oversized scarf is going to be huge this season, and I personally love it. I feel like there's so many different ways that you can style them up as well. You can obviously add a scarf to almost anything, to your coats, to your jumpers. You could literally just head out in a knit like this, add a scarf to it, and you are embracing the swaddle season trend. So have a little think about what you've got in your wardrobe already, or maybe what you want to be adding in. I might have a little look at some of my favorite upcoming scarves this season, my favorite new in scarves that you can add into your wardrobe. I might also have a little look for the coats as well, if you are wanting to add that in, because as I said, it's a trend that I might actually embrace a little bit more this year than I ever have before, and it might be the time to actually invest in a coat scarf and add it into my wardrobe, because it is going to be huge this season. Swaddle season is officially here. Trend number 5 is another trend that I am very excited about, and as a country gal, I feel like this is a serious trend for me. If you're like me, you live in the countryside and you want to really embrace those kind of like country tones and textures and almost like country heritage, this is a trend for you, and that is the tweed and houndstooth trend. Now I know a lot of you might argue that tweed and houndstooth has not been a trend per se, has just been something that's been around forever, and I totally agree, but I feel like a lot of people have been sleeping on tweed and houndstooth, and it's actually becoming very big with regards to that kind of like mainstream high street styling. I'm noticing a lot of high street brands that I feel like would never have touched tweed or houndstooth patterns and materials before that are bringing out beautiful pieces in those materials. It's also a very practical material for autumn winter because it keeps you a little bit warmer and a little bit more snuggly, and with snuggle season we want to be as cozy as possible. So it's a really beautiful trend to jump on board. Also, as someone who absolutely adores Scotland, it's really lovely to see that kind of heritage coming into play in more of a mainstream way. So it's going to be interesting to see how it kind of like develops. I definitely think there's going to be a lot of jackets, a lot of blazers, and a lot of coats. I really want to add in a beautiful long line houndstooth coat into my wardrobe. I think that would be so beautiful. I've got a really cute little houndstooth like cropped jacket, but something that's maybe a little bit more wintry I think would be so gorgeous for that kind of Jan, Feb styling. So I've still got plenty of time before I need to add it into my wardrobe, but I can keep an eye out for what is coming out, because now is the time to start adding coats into your wardrobe. Now is always the time that brands start bringing out their beautiful wintry coats for the coming season. So it's definitely 2 materials to keep your eye out on that are going to be absolutely huge this year, and 2 materials that, as I said, they've been classic and timeless materials for such a long time. So this is a trend I really don't see it going anywhere. I do feel like if you add a tweed blazer or a houndstooth coat into your wardrobe now, you will still be styling it up in 10, 15, maybe even 20 years time. So it's a trend that I am very excited about. Trend number 6 is quite an interesting one, particularly because on a day like today, it's raining, it's grey, it's miserable. They're not going to be the most practical piece of footwear, and that is Sherpa shoes. I have seen Sherpa shoes everywhere, all over the runways this year, and I feel like they're really dripping into kind of like high street styling and high street fashion. Now I feel like with regards to Sherpa shoes, you can kind of embrace this trend in any way that you want to. The way that I probably will be embracing it is through my Uggs. Uggs are not going anywhere this year, and I'm very happy about that, because I invested in a beautiful pair of chocolate brown Uggs maybe 2 years ago, potentially, and I've worn them every single winter. I absolutely love them. They're so cozy, they're so comfy, they're so easy to slip on and off, but obviously on a day like today, they're not the most practical thing to wear. What I would recommend if you do have a pair of Uggs, whether it is the classic Ugg boots, whether it is the Tamsins, to protect them with a suede spray. I'll leave a link down below to the suede spray that I use because it makes such a difference. I have some Ugg slippers, and I'm not gonna lie, the first day I wore them, I completely forgot to spray them, spilled a little bit of water on them, and it stained instantly. Sprayed them since, and I spill so much on my slippers. I'm absolutely dreadful. Coffee, tea, if I'm just washing my hands, the water will splash over, and I have not had a single other stain. So it really is such a game changer with regards to your slippers, whether you're wearing them outside, whether you are wearing them as Ugg boots. But I've definitely noticed the kind of like Sherpa shoe trend expand a little bit more. I've actually seen Sherpa ballet flats, which have kind of blown my mind. I've seen a lot more different kind of styles of shoes in this like Sherpa, cozy kind of vibe, and it's an interesting one because, as I said, it's fun. It's a great trend to jump on board with, but I can't really see it being practical, particularly for a UK autumn winter. So let me know your thoughts. Are you going to be jumping on board the Sherpa shoe trend? Are you just going to be sticking it to your Uggs this year like I am? Let me know. Trend number 7 is another one that I'm very excited about because I've always been a very big fan of feminine silhouettes and feminine styling. So trend number 7 is the cinched in waist trend. This is going to be huge this year, and it's really interesting seeing how it's coming into play, particularly on the high street, but also in just kind of everyday styling. With regards to these trends, you don't necessarily always have to like buy a new piece. I've really noticed with regards to the cinched in waist trend that belts have just come back on the scene. Apparently, there's been a huge increase of searches for belts. So many girls are adding new belts into their wardrobe, and actually thinking about it, I do feel like belts kind of died a bit of a death for a while, but they are back with a vengeance. So go through your wardrobe, see if you've got any belts that maybe are shoved to the back that you've not worn in a couple of years that you can bring out and style up, because it's such an easy way of cinching in your waist and creating that really feminine and streamlined silhouette. One of the big ways I'm also seeing this trend coming into play, particularly, is with blazers. It's very interesting to see how many cinched in blazers are on the high street at the moment and how many we saw on the catwalks. It's amazing how many runway stylists did that cinched in blazer looks, whether it's a blazer dress, whether it's just like a particular blazer. You can even cinch it in yourself. If you've got a blazer in your wardrobe and you want to style it up in this way, grab your old belt, grab your old blazer and cinch it in that way. So you don't even need to buy anything new, and immediately you are on trend. This is what I love about doing these videos. It's just being able to look at different ways that we can embrace the trend and we can add it into our wardrobe. So you could add something new into your wardrobe. If you've been looking for a new blazer, then it's definitely a great silhouette and great style to look for. But if you're not wanting to buy anything new, it's such an easy one to jump on board with pieces that you already have. But belts, blazers and a cinched in waist is going to be huge this autumn winter. Now trend number 8 I feel like is a bit of a continuation of one of the trends that we talked about in my last video. I know we are all very excited for suede. Suede is just huge at this time of year, and I am loving adding it into my wardrobe. I've actually got a gorgeous suede bag on my wish list, which if you didn't see my autumn winter wish list video, my last vlog that I did, I will leave that linked down below for you to watch just a few of the pieces that are on my autumn wish list. But as a continuation of the suede trend, I definitely think it almost has a bit of a broader umbrella kind of trend that is overcoming it, and that is the Western trend. And it's really interesting seeing how that's been coming back into play this autumn and how it's been moving from summer into autumn. This time of year is always really interesting when it comes to fashion because it's that very transitional period, and sometimes it can be really difficult to transition from summer into autumn. But I feel like using the Western trend is a great way to do that. Like, think about your gorgeous summer dresses. If you're not ready to say goodbye to them, literally switch up your summer sandals for a pair of gorgeous cowgirl boots, and it makes it so much more autumnal but also encompasses that Western trend. I don't know if it's obviously because of Taylor Swift and her Eras tour. A lot of girls have been adding cowboy boots into their wardrobe. They're really loving that kind of like Western country style. I don't know if that's been quite the catalyst to this trend. It's quite interesting thinking about where the trends originate from and where the kind of source comes from, but it has been huge again this year. So through suede, with regards to jackets, with regards to bags, with regards to boots, you can definitely go for those really gorgeous like cowboy boots, fringing, hats. It's going to be such a fun one to get involved with this season. It's just going to be such a fun trend to see how it kind of comes into its own this autumn and how it has evolved from summer into autumn. So if you did invest in the trend for some summer outfits, have a little think about how you can transition those pieces into something a little bit more autumnal, ready for some cooler weather. Trend number 9 is another trend that I am kind of in love with and might just have to be on the hunt to add it into my wardrobe, because I feel like this is one of those trends. When I see you on the high street with this particular item, I just instantly know that you are cool, and that is the woven bag trend. I feel like it's kind of been growing quite slowly ever since the start of the year. I definitely noticed it trickling in like Jan, Feb of this year, and it's kind of been continuing throughout summer, but this autumn winter I think it's going to be absolutely huge. And it's really interesting to see how both designer brands but also high street brands are bringing this trend into their own styling. It definitely came from Bottega. I feel like Bottega are the brand that have really coined the woven bag trend. They have so many beautiful woven handbags, but obviously they are very spenny. If you don't want to spend that much on a trend item, I would definitely recommend looking at the high street. I'll leave a few linked down below if you do want to have a little look at my recommendations, because I found some really gorgeous ones online, and I just think it's such a cool and effortless trend. It's almost quite similarly to the suede trend, where it just looks very undone, it just looks very unstyled, but seriously cool. I have seen so many woven bags for so many people on the high street, and every time I see it I just absolutely fall in love. I just feel like they style up so beautifully for autumn winter, and I think they're going to be another huge one to keep an eye out for this season. Trend number 10 is another trend that I feel like is so fun. In fact, I've definitely noticed with regards to the trends that we're seeing this autumn winter is that I feel like we're just having so much more fun with them. I feel like the trends are just really encompassing that like true personal style, just being really true to you, and this trend literally encompasses that. You could not get any more creative with this trend, and that is the bag charm trend, or more specifically, I believe the phrase we are using is Jane Birkining your handbags, which I absolutely love that phrase. If you don't know, Jane Birkin was actually the model that inspired the Birkin bag. She literally had a conversation with the owner of Hermes about how she didn't have a handbag that could carry everything she needed. She was like tripping over things, and he literally created the bag for her. And when I tell you that Jane Birkin was not careful with her Birkin bags, oh my goodness me, she was iconic for covering them, making them so bashed, making them so unique, like really utilizing her handbags and just going to town with styling them. She used bag charms, she used jewelry, bracelets, clips, oh my goodness me, anything she could think of to decorate and jazz up her Birkin bag, and she used them. She really used them. They would always look so bashed up and like utilized, and I kind of love that that's come back into play, because I am not someone who's careful with my handbags. I often get told off by friends and family with how I treat my designer bags, but I have always been under the belief that they are designed to be used and loved. I'm not the kind of person that saves things for best, so I kind of love that that's also a part of this trend. It's just like really utilizing and loving your bags. And what I really like about this is that you can do it to any bag in any way that makes it so you. It doesn't necessarily have to be a designer bag. In fact, I think I'd probably prefer doing this to a more high street handbag, because I would hate to ruin completely a designer handbag. And I actually feel like a bag that's maybe a bit more affordable, it almost elevates it a little bit more and makes it look so much more you. It just really encompasses your true personal style. You can do anything that you want with regards to this trend. You can do it with scarves, with twillies, you can do it with jewelry, you can do it with phone charms, you can do it with clips. I've seen people that have literally got little charms of like pets. It's the cutest thing in the world. So you can just go to town with this trend and just make it so true to your personal style. It's gonna be a really fun one to see how people kind of play about with this trend and just how they make it really true to them. It's another trend that I just think is so much fun, and I love that it's come onto the scene this autumn winter, because I just think there is nothing more personal than being able to completely decorate your bag in any way that you want to. And there we have it, 10 more trends to keep an eye out on this autumn winter. I would love to know, out out of these 10 trends, what is the trend that you are most excited about? Because I know not all of these we're going to be wanting to add into our wardrobe. I feel like these trends are just all about having fun this autumn, winter. It's never about following them blindly or doing it because you feel like you have to. It's just about having fun with your wardrobe and with your outfits. So I'd love to know which is the one that you are most excited to add into your wardrobe. It's so funny, as I was doing this video as well, I didn't realize it would be this easy to do 10 more trends. I thought I might actually struggle and get to like 8, maybe 9, but no, there's even a couple more. I feel like I've missed out, but I don't think I've got the stamina to do a third version of this video. So I hope you enjoyed part 1 and part 2 of my favorite trends to look out for this autumn, winter. As I said, it's just all about having fun with your outfits and having fun with your wardrobe. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed the videos. If you haven't already, I would also love it if you hit the subscribe button. You can come and join me for lots more videos, fashion videos every Thursday and vlogs every Monday. And on that note, I will leave you guys here. I hope you have the loveliest evening. I hope this has inspired you and gotten you so excited for all of the autumn, winter styling. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.